That's all right. Morning all. This is Stephen Rowlands going live for Copy Time Chat and Q&A. I've decided to make this a weekly thing because I think it's important that, you know, we can just chat and I can answer spiritual questions and stuff like that. And it's just good as spiritualists with like-minded people to get together and just chat about all things spirit. But there's nobody watching at the moment anyway, so I'll just hang around. It's been an eventful week in one way or another. Had to take the week off work because I was very stressed and very anxious from my last job. But it's been a good week off. I've got myself sorted with a new job. It's very interesting how spirit work actually, because I wanted to do something still social care, but I didn't want to have all the stress that was in my last job. And I went to a driver's agency that I'd worked for before, and I signed up for them again. And the lady said to me, "We've got a Meals on Wheels job. Would you be interested in it?" Look, it is social health care in its own little way. Morning, Lynn. Lovely to see you. I see you're getting out and about again. That's good. So yeah, good to see you back on the platform going around. But yeah, so it is social health care in its own way. You're not just sort of like delivering dinners. You're doing a little bit of safeguarding and stuff like that. I said to the lady, you know, I've got my DBS and I've done all relevant courses such as safeguarding and health and safety and manual handling and all that kind of thing. So that's good. So I'm starting that tomorrow. So new beginnings once again. Tonight I'm serving Swindon Church. It's not scrolling me down to the comments. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Lynn. Yeah, funnily enough, my black's been playing up as well. Um, well, I hope you're feeling better soon. I don't know about you, Lynn, but I get a bit gutted if I have to let a church down. I haven't done that for a long time, but you know. Can you rebook yourself, Lynn? That's sod's law, isn't it? You know, that is. Yeah, I've recently been suffering from stress and anxiety, Lynn. I've never ever actually felt anything like it, so my heart goes out to you. Okay? Oh, that's a shame. Pity you couldn't have gone back there. But anyway, well, there's always another booking, Lynn. That's the way I look at it. I'll just go with the flow with spirit, you know. If people want to book me, they book me. If they don't, they don't. You know, I'm not one of these that will go around chasing bookings or anything like that. I'll just, you know, I'm here. I advertise. If people want to come along and book me, that's brilliant. If they don't, well, what can I do about it? Okay. Right. I've forgotten what I was going to talk about now, Lynn. Lovely Christina was. No, it's not. No, to be honest, Lynn, I've never felt anything like it in my life. Yes, I felt stressed. Yes, I felt a little bit of anxiety, but it's something that just came and went due to the situation at the time. But this was pounding. This was pounding me, you know. Anyway, that's all behind me now, you know, and I've got new beginnings to look forward to. Um, Christina was asking about spiritual protection, or should I say in her own words, psychic protection. But that's the one, Lynn. Um, I know this isn't really taught a lot, which you know I'm quite surprised that it isn't. I'm still surprised after all these years. But we who link in with spirit, we who communicate with spirit in whichever form, should have some form of spiritual psychic protection around them. Has anybody heard the old saying, as above, so below? You know, Hitler went Hitler went into spirit. Maura Hindley went into spirit. Attila the Hun went into spirit. You know, Caligula went into spirit. I'm just sort of like thinking of people in history. You know, and it's very, very important, you know, that we protect ourselves from that. Hi, Derek. Protect ourselves from those who wish to do us harm. Hello, Janice. Lovely to see you. Um, hello, Chels. Lovely to see you all the way from Wales. Hope you and family are well. Anyway, talking about spiritual protection, and it's funny, you know, during my week off last week, we sort of fell into a couple of these ghost hunting programs. I think they're silly anyway, you know, because I haven't got a clue what they're doing. They're just running around with gadgets. Oh, I've got an anomaly and all that. But this one guy said he was going to clear this evil spirit from this house because there was a lady in this house that killed 7 of her lodgers, and she was stealing their social security checks, and she buried them in the back garden. Yes, Archangel Michael is brilliant for protection, and they discovered that she's still lurking around in the house as well as some of her visits. All they did was goad the spirits in there looking to get phenomena. That's all they did. Whereas any average everyday self-respecting spiritualist will seek to raise those spirits into the light, to raise those spirits to a higher vibration. I haven't got a lot of time for ghost hunters or paranormal because there's no such thing as paranormal or supernatural. It's just all perfectly natural. We live in a world of energy, folks. We are energy, so that energy is going to manifest itself in many, many forms, isn't it? You know, I blame programs like Most Haunted and things like that because they just started this craze off. But anyway, that's enough of me ranting. But as you can see, you know, from these programs and, you know, your own personal experiences or the personal experiences of others, we need spiritual protection. I have wrote about my own need for spiritual protection in my book Messenger. See, this is what it is. It's the untrained channel, you know. They've got a tiny little bit of knowledge and they've got to go around, and there's another thing in the wife magazine, you know, one of the girly magazines, I think it's Take a Break or something like that. This woman felt that this demon had strangled her, you know, and she was having phenomena in her house. What did she do? Instead of getting like the local medium in, she got the ghost hunters in, you know, who know nothing, you know, and Yeah. Well, that's right, Lynn. I mean, you, it's quite amazing sometimes you get these people, they've had a message from spirit, they can be a medium. And I've seen this happen, they think they're a medium and they start running development circles and all sorts of weird and wonderful things starts happening. Giggles, sorry you can't make it. I've got to be in touch with you anyway because I want to do a live with you, Victoria. Okay, so I will be in touch and have a lovely day with the kids. Um, it depends on what kind of feathers. If they're white feathers, it's usually angels. Um, but feathers being seen, whether it's pigeon feathers, duck feathers, or whatever, it's usually a form of spirit connection that they're trying to should give you signs that they're around, Emma. And I agree with that, Janice. Yeah, I've lost my train of thought. But anyway, yeah, Emma, just sit down quietly and ask, you know, who's giving you these letters, and you should get an impression, an intuitive knowing of who's communicating with you. Um, if you go to church, or I know you go on these lives, so a black pigeon green feather. Well, as you know, Emma, things mean things in spirit. But can you think of anybody that kept pigeons? I'm not here to give messages. I'm just thinking out the top of my head. But or you could have pigeons nearby and their feathers are falling out. We have to look at all the reasons why things can be, but with you, Emma, I think it's possibly that somebody in spirit's trying to communicate. No, unfortunately, I don't do teaching circles because I don't go a lot on online teaching. I'm doing a workshop next week. If you want to sign up for that, it's £20, and it's just basic mediumship and insight to mediumship. People have been badgering me for quite some time to do a workshop now, so I'm going to do one, and it's just to start to prepare people for circle really, and to give them some insight into spirit. I mean, maybe a teaching circle in the future, I don't know, but I don't go a lot on online teaching, because I think once the circle gets more advanced, the medium especially needs to know what energies are going around, who's communicating. You know, I teach spiritual development, general development. It's not just about sitting there picking up messages like a lot of them do. It's about developing your channel to communicate with spirit. That's the way I teach. But no, not right now. I'm not doing a teaching circle. Good morning, Simon. Hope you're well. I see you've been live a couple of times. Hope all that went well. Yes, we are well. We're just chilling out this Sunday morning, doing a service later at Swindon. So yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. I ain't been there for a while. Yeah, but life is a spiritual development. You know, life teaches us many things, but attunement to spirit is something that grows and is evolved over time. You know. Ah, the lovely Nikki. I wondered if you would pop up this morning. Yeah, I'll see you tonight, Nikki. Nikki is one of the lovely ladies from Swindon Church, or shall I say Christian Spiritualist Church of Jennings Street. Yeah, I love doing them, Simon. I mean, it gives us a chance, just whoever wants to, just to chat and talk as spiritualists, like-minded people and all that, you know, and just talk about all things spiritual. And if anybody wants to ask me a question, they can, and all the rest of it. I've put on a bit of weight since you last saw me, Nikki. All right, I'll be holding my stomach in. Okay, but, I realised, like in conversations with people, there's a lot of people that just don't even know the basics about spirit communication. So, you know, what I would say to anybody is basically get yourselves into a circle. Oh well, we can both waddle around the church together, Nikki. All right. But spirit communication isn't just learning about how to pick up a message from spirit and how to give it off. It's about, oh, well, it ain't only me that's expanding. Nice one, Simon. I've gone from medium to large. I think I'm going to go. My next step is an extra large. Okay. But yeah, you've got to know how it all works. You know, you've got to know your guides. You've got to, you know, listen to guides. You've got to be able to talk to guides. They've got to be able to show you the way. Oh, good morning, Martin. You got the right day then. That's brilliant. Martin's from Hinton Road Spiritualist Church and a lovely medium as well. Right. Because all I hear of circles these days is they're just learning, they're just sitting there picking up and giving up. I feel this and I feel that, you know. You know, learn how spirit communicate with us. That doesn't surprise me. I've seen some of your meals on the telly. But to be honest, I've just been lazy. I've been having pizzas and all sorts and eating everything that's wrong for me. But I really must get my mind on the diet. Yes, they do use our memories and our experiences to communicate. One of the best things my spiritual teacher taught me was you cannot have imagination without an image. And where are your memories found? You know, in the images of your imagination. You know. Yeah, but when you're imagining future events, that's fine. But when sort of like images come up from past events, but what people have to realise is, Simon, that yes, we have an imagination and we can picture things, but spirit put their own pictures in of what they wish to communicate. I'd agree with that 100%, Martin. That's very similar to what I teach. In fact, it's about the same. You have to be as peaceful and loving within. Yeah, can do, mate. Can do, Simon. Just let me know when you're free. Ghosts and memories, Janice. I don't like the term ghosts. They're eternal, Janice. Whether they're earthbound or not, they're eternal. No. Well, you need to send a packet in, Janice. Oh, the lovely Claire Sutton's with us. Good morning, Claire. That's what we call rescue work, Janice, helping others to move on. Perhaps this is what you're teaching you, but thanks, Chels. Is that short for Chelsea, Chels? You know, because there's another Chels in this group, and I just wondered if it was short for Chelsea. I'm inquisitive like that. But anyway, um, this is why I do these things, because you know there's so much not being taught there. People are just getting through programs like Most Haunted and paranormal programs and everything like that. You know, oh, it's a nice name, Chels. So yeah, no, you rock with it. I don't like the football team. My brother does, but I don't. Um, you know, people are just for all these silly ghost hunting programs and all the rest of it. And you know, I can teach you to be a medium in 4 hours. You know, that's wrong. That's right. I was only talking about that the other day, Martin. It's sort of like an event, you know, that's strong emotionally that gets woven into the fabric of time and space. Um, but spirit are earthbound, can be earthbound, and you know, but they're still eternal. They're not ghosts. What I want to say is something very important. I was going to say then, but I've forgotten what I was going to say. That's good, isn't it? All right. But it's learning how to differentiate the two, whether it's an energy that's just imprinted in the fabric of time and space, or whether it is an earthbound spirit. This is where mediumistic comes in. This is where attunement to energy, attunement to vibration comes in. And that, if I was running a circle, that's what I'd be teaching. I think the basics is if you can understand. I bet that was good for you, Lynn. Anyway, I'm glad my first wife don't haunt me. She finished haunting me in 1992, thankfully. That's right, Martin. I tell people I've been doing this demonstrating for 39 years and I'm still learning how to do it. And that's very, very true. Well, that was nice of her, Lynn. But you know, the basic rule of thumb, which I think with mediumship, is if you have some understanding and can interpret vibration and patience, Derek. Well done, thank you. What's that old saying, Derek? Everything comes to he who waits. And that's very, very true. A lot of people don't know this. I've mentioned it from time to time, but I had to develop 3 years so that I was of the right level to work with my Egyptian guide because he was a far higher vibration than me, so I had to learn how to raise my own vibration to him so that he could work through me. And he's a beautiful healing guide, by the way. Yeah, so, you know, if you want to go into mediumship or whatever way you would like to channel spirit, look on it as a way of life and a lifetime path thing. You know, I came into this when I was 18, well, nearly 18, and I'm 62 now. So it is a life path. The trouble is with this spiritual industry, it's seen as a career path now, but it's not a career path, it's a life path. That's why I'm going to work tomorrow morning. You know what I mean? To earn some money. And I agree with that 100%. Martin, everything is earned. Yeah, I bet he has to keep you patient, breathe with Dawn. Yeah. I will be, now things are a bit more settled now, Dawn, I will be starting the meditation nights again. That's if anybody's still interested. I've just got this vision of Gandalf with his hands around your ankles, keeping your feet on the floor. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'll be in touch with the group shortly over this week or maybe the following week. It's just that with one thing and another, you know, with the job that I had and the spiritual work that I had, I was getting no time for myself. As well as that, I was becoming ill with stress and anxiety. So I stepped back from the group. But yes, I'm getting ready to come back to it with you dinkies. Yeah, meditation is the foundation of spiritual work. What I've been doing with my meditation group, I've been attempting to teach them mediumship through meditation. And that all follows along with you know, you can't have imagination without an image and that kind of teaching. But yeah, spirit give me images, they give me emotions, they give me thoughts. I was a homeless recovery worker, now I'm starting for Wiltshire Farm Foods, which is basically Meals on Wheels. I'm honoured, and that's why we do it. Um, Everybody is to help people, not to have our name up in lights or be driving around in a Bentley. It's to help people. But yeah, I'll be doing Meals on Wheels as from Monday. Because we get a lot of philosophy in that group, don't we, Dawn? And your spirit guide Gandalf is a good provider of it. I'm looking forward to sort of like meeting him again. So, I mean, people ask me how I started in trance, and I just sort of like fell into it. You know what I mean? It's not like these days. I went on a course, and 6 weeks later I can blend, but I still rock ball backwards and forwards. You know. Yeah, that job just fell into my lap, Martin. You know, and guess who's got a DBS and done all the relevant training? I bet. We're going to have to touch base, Dawn, because as I said to you in group, I think you're very gifted, so we're going to need to see where you're at. Okay? It will help your mental health. It's, you know, sitting in the quiet, you know, this past week and just having spirit coming around me that's really helped me with my own mental health this week. See, to rise in vibration, you've got to have good mental health. That's brilliant, Simon. I'm really pleased to hear that. But as we say, onwards and upwards, you know, the pathway's there. We have to walk it. Spirit will bring into us for us what we need to learn. They will also bring in for us what they need us to do. You will. I used to work for a Chartwell Security years ago, Dawn. Um, that's good, you know, teaching kids how to sort of sit in the quiet and be at peace. That's something that can help them throughout their lives. I think we all need to know a little bit of that. There's so much we with our teachers of spirit and with our own spiritual practices can teach the world. And if there's one thing that this world needs is peace, isn't it? You know, And if we can teach people how to become at peace, that's the that's the reason I jacked the last job in so I could become more at peace because it was just relentless, you know. Yeah, in our days, in our days, Martin, yeah, if somebody said walked into our schools and said let's teach meditation, they would have got laughed out of the playground. Life does get in the way, but Simon, but we can come back bigger and stronger. Um, I I've had two dark nights of the soul, what they call dark nights of the soul, and yeah, and I was nearly broken, but through spiritual practice, I come back a lot stronger. Well, that's good. I'm glad. I'm glad. Mindful, mindfulness. I think that's very, very important in life. Mindfulness. I mean, I try to realise what effect I'm having on everything around me. Although I do fail miserably at times, don't I, Mrs. Yeah. But yeah, we're doing a trance tonight. Whoa. Yeah. If you think about it, Simon, that all that being broken and being found and building up from there, that's probably very much a part of your spiritual development at the time. I was saying to somebody the other day, well, last night even, or whenever it was, life is one big comprehensive school, Janice. But, they started me off young. That was my time. And this gentleman was saying to me, well, they didn't start me off till 3 or 4 years ago. And that was his time. We all come into it when the time is right. There's a lot to be said. Everything comes at the right time. There's a lot to be said for that, isn't there? I don't know what your thoughts are on that. My wife came at the right time. Um, it's like this past week, last Sunday, I was doing a Zoom with Kevin Try, a lovely medium, and there were some people there from Harrogate Spiritual Church, and I mentioned that me and the wife are going on holiday to York in a couple of 3 weeks for our anniversary holiday. We all take a holiday for our wedding anniversary. Yeah, what we don't need is stripped away, Simon, but what we do need is given. I went through that sort of 12 years ago. Everything I didn't need was stripped away from me, but I was consciously going through the process of forgiving and letting go. And that's very true, Martin. Only 11 years ago I started that journey, and here I am today. Cause I'd built up a load of clug over the years, if you know what I mean. What was I on about anyway? Yeah, I mentioned that me and the wife are going to York for our wedding anniversary holiday, and from that, I've been invited to demonstrate healing at Harrogate Spiritual Healing Church, which is amazing. So that's right. Yeah, that's why I work, Claire. I would suggest they don't do trance, Claire, if they're physically frail. Yeah, trance takes time. I mean, I first went into trance, like I said, I stumbled into it in 1978. I'm still learning how to do it now. With spirit, because trance is an experiment. Who knows what your spirit team want to bring in and what they want to try and do. Good point, Martin. However dark, like however dark life gets on the external, always remember the light within. I can remember in my dark nights of the soul that I was guided by my inner light, my truth, and it is your truth that makes all the difference. You know. But what I would suggest, yeah, because people are making money out of it, Claire. If I was going to teach trance, I would have a proper home circle. And I'd say to people, this could take forever, you know what I mean? You know. But even so, even if, you know, you can get someone to achieve trance on whatever level, because there's different levels of trance with their spirit team. The honing of it and how the spirit team wants to work takes X amount of time. Morning, Pat. You finished your painting. What are you going to do now? Sit down and have a nice cup of tea? I'm having more coffee. Oh, the lovely dinky Claire McCarubry's with us. Well, I've got my dinkies here this morning. I've got to behave myself. Right. Yeah, I'm dead against online teaching, even though I'm doing a workshop next week. But there you go. But it's a Stephen workshop, you know what I mean? I'm just basically teaching people the basics that I learned, you know. Well, you have a good day, Simon. If you want to have a private chat with me, just drop me an inbox and we'll sort it out. Right. We're having a good chat this morning. I'm continuing to write my third book. I've got up to 5,000 words now. That's a lot for me. Yeah. All seems to have gone quiet. But well, that's another good point, Lynn, because I was talking like on the last chat about people shouldn't expect from spirit, you know, or what we think spirit should be. Um, if it was genuinely from spirit, Lynn, because you never know with some of these people. And yeah, keep persevering, but you're of a level in where you can sit quietly with your guides. You know what I mean? See what they say. You're welcome, Christina. Well, thank you. I'll take that as a compliment, Martin. Thank you. I'm humbled. That's right. It does. I mean, I've got friends on Facebook that say their name's Fred Blog, Spiritualist Medium. Why do we need that title? Yeah, I work in different jobs. People have said to me, "What do you do in your spare time?" And I've said, "I'm a spiritualist medium." But that's the only time I'll mention it. Okay, Lynn, but you can sit quietly with your guide and just say to them, "Hey, what's going on?" You know. Yeah, yeah, there is, but we've got to try and you know discard them rotten eggs. If we're getting all het up and all the time about these rotten eggs, there you go, Lynn. All right. I hope it was my book. Anyway, yeah. But you know, thank you, Patrick. Humbled, mate. Blessings to you. What I want to say is let's discard these rotten eggs. If we're sort of like sitting here discussing rotten eggs and what they do and what they don't do, then our focus is on them. If we're focusing on what we do and we're there for anybody who wishes to come for that help, you know what I mean, or that advice or that guidance, then we're doing something. Our focus is on that rather than these rotten eggs. Honestly, I've seen some things and I've heard some things over the years and some things that have disgusted me, to be honest with you. But, you know, whilst I'm getting all angry about that, I'm not actually doing what I should be doing, which is a channel for spirit to bring help and upliftment to people. It surprises me sometimes, because people talk to me on these lives or like they message me for little chats and the amount of times I say, well, I didn't realise this, I didn't realise that, but all this can be taught in circle. I'll go along with that, Martin. They exist in their lives. I mean, trust me, I spent 30 years in the security industry. Also, I used to work the doors, and I used to be employed by some horrible people and all the rest of it. But they are what they are. They didn't pretend to be anything else. And I agree, Patrick. And but I've seen worst in the spiritual world. It's like having a wolf in sheep's clothing. They come all nice. It's when we put our own needs before spirit. That's when it all goes wrong. With whatever we want. If we want fame, money, sex, whatever. Um, a lot of these mediums use their sort of like because they're a medium and they present a powerful image to women, they will use it to get sex. Did I say that word? Yes, I did. Um, well, it's either open or closed, but I would recommend um, I would recommend sitting in a closed circle. That's right. That's right. What spirit needs is boots on the ground. You know what I mean? Um, Actually, it said to me the other week, quite a little while back, why do I still drive to do services? I said, well, that's how we've always done it. And I got called a dinosaur. And, for doing that, when I could spend all my time on Zoom, I don't want to do that. There's more heart, there's more energy when you actually do a church service or a centre service. There's a more powerful connection with the person that's receiving the messages. You know? Yeah, I was talking about this with Pat last night. I mean, Spirit realise that we live in a material world and we need money to buy food, don't we? Or to keep the roof over our heads. As long as you're not being greedy, what I've found is at times when I've been skint or I've needed money for a big bill, I've sort of said to Spirit, help me out a bit, and next thing you know, there's somebody's phoning up for a private reading. Yeah, and that's disgusting, Martin, isn't it? That really annoys me. That's right, Breathe with Dawn. I must keep calling you Dawn. I can't keep calling you Breathe with. You're Dinky Dawn, right? That's what I'll call you from now on. You're not Breathe with, are you? Yeah, I agree, Derek, 100%. So that's why me and whoever's still doing it will still be driving to churches, however far away it is. You know what I mean? I do agree that, like Zoom and StreamYard and Facebook Lives have their place for people who, for one reason or another, can't get to a church. But after COVID, I was going around the churches saying, support your local church. This is where the heart is. This is where the energy is. You know. The only fee I charge for a church service is my petrol. And to be fair to the churches, with all these petrol price rises, they've said to me, we know you're going to put your fee up, but we can't afford that. Right, so I've said, yeah, that's fine. But remember, with cars, we wear out tyre rubber, we wear out our engines and all the rest of it, but we just charge for our petrol. I heard of one little centre where they didn't ask somebody what their fee was, and the medium charged them 300 quid. You see, with this spiritual industry, you got started off with things like, if they were booking the popular mediums, the mediums were going to them saying, we will take half the door. Not, oh, charging me 20 quid for petrol. Derek's a lovely medium as well. Yes, I do know some churches, Derek, that will sort of like pick people up that can't get them. What's Dinky doing? Right, Christina, you just need to build that wall or that bubble of protection around you. You needn't be picking that kind of stuff up. It's something you need to focus on in the morning when you wake up and at night. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, see, us dinosaurs know. Um, but back in the day when I used to do the odd big demo, I only used to charge with petrol for that as well. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I heard of one medium saying, I can put bums on seat, I'll take 50% of the door. Wrong. Right. Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, I gave 3 messages last Sunday to people who live in America. Well, that's great, but Zoom with your health issues, Claire, that helps get you out there. Alright? I'm not knocking Zoom or Facebook Lives, I do them myself, but I think if we can, we should get out there in the churches and the centres. There you go. Says it all, doesn't it, Lynn? I'm grateful if anybody turns up, to be honest. Even a committee. But yeah. Yes, I fairly pass spirit. I feel little Archie pass the spirit peacefully. Dawn. Janice. I'd have done the same, Claire. I've actually done that once, many, many moons ago. I think you need more spiritual development. Spiritual development, Christina. You should, Lynn. Why not? I've been writing books. Yeah, I heard that. Yeah, Derek, I know where you're coming from. I've had that. Years ago, I used to serve Burton on Trent, which was a 300-mile round trip, and I had a 2 litre Granada at the time. And they said I was charging them £20 then. This is sort of like 1990 something. And well, no, I still put them out there, Claire. You know, not a lot of people read mine, but the odd person does. And I agree, there's no place for ego in spiritual practices. But yeah, so anyway, they said, we love you coming here. Can you cheapen your expenses? I said, it's 300 miles round trip. And they said, that's too expensive. And I said, all right. And they said, where do you live? And at the time I was living in Camberley. And they said, that's only up the road from here. I said, Camberley, Surrey. But they wouldn't believe me. They thought I was lying. There you go. You know, for the travelling platform medium, the road can be bumpy. Keep putting yourself out there. Keep writing. I'm halfway through page 12, but I'm trying to make my book a proper book. You know, with 100,000 words in it, with my poems and all that. But you know, I'm up to 5,000 words, which is a lot for me. But it's one of those books where I'm just thinking out loud. I'm not just sort of like, it's not on a set subject or anything like that. I'm just sort of like, I want people to understand that mediums have lives as well, and we face the same pressures. Do you know what, Martin? That Amazon. You can self-publish on Amazon, Lynn. I'll make £1 for each book I sell. You know what I mean? That's right, yeah. You know, I remember once I was just getting ready to do a demonstration in Kent. And this lady said to me, what I like about you is you just go out and do it. Some of them are sort of like, um, you know, like when they come out on the platform, they're 3 feet off the earth, 3 feet off the ground with their eyes rolled back in the head with a gold light around them. You know what I mean? You've got to be down to earth. Amazon will publish the book for you. All you've got to do is upload it. Okay? My books are all my own design, all my own pictures, all my own words, you know. And really? What planet is that medium living on, Derek? have a look at Amazon Amazon Kindle self-publishing, Lynn. £800. Bloody hell. Yeah. Who do they think they were? Jesus Christ. I mean, blimey. Even Jesus Christ would say, give us a bit of bread and cheese, I'll give my teaching. You know. Yeah, in one way, you know, COVID has done a lot of good for the churches as far as reaching British spiritualism across the world. Yeah, I publish my books through Amazon Kindle self-publishing. It doesn't cost you anything. And when you sell a book, they just deduct the printing cost. You set the price, everything, you know. But I just generally enjoy writing, you know what I mean? Like me poems and stuff like that. And whether anybody reads it or not, I've got it out there, you know what I mean? That's why I put my poetry out and my different thoughts out on Facebook in this group, so at least somebody can get something from it if they want to. You know, because I love to write poetry. But I love writing generally, so... Well, if I do it with you, Lynn and Claire, that'll be 2,400. Who's going to pay that? You know. Yeah, I think now it's turned into industry. Spiritualism's turned into industry. You get people with these fantastic ideas of what they're worth. You know, but yeah, but Bonnie left the group for her own reasons. Dawn, Dinky Dawn. Had a lovely chat with her the other week, actually. No, she's a lovely lady. She'd be welcome back any time. I've told her that. Yeah. Well, that's right, Lynn. Do you know what I mean? It's, you know, when you've been doing it a long time like we have, you know, you get all these, you know, sort of like all singing and all dancing mediums doing this, that, and the other, and think, seen you come, seen you go. But we dinosaurs are still left around doing what we do. And that brings me back to the point you've got to have dedication and commitment to serve spirit. You can't go into it to have lights around your name or to earn lots of money because you won't last 5 minutes. Um, it's about dedication and commitment. And you learn that from Circle, believe it or not, by turning up every week. There's times, you know, when I've been laid out on the settee and it's a Sunday afternoon and it's time for me to have a shower and get up and go. The wind's howling outside, it's peeing down or it's snowing. I thought, do I really want to do this? I thought I was a Tyrannosaurus Rex, Lynn. And I've laid there, it's lovely and cosy at home. You know, the night's drawing in, and I thought, oh, I've got to drag myself out to church now. Do I really want to do this? But I don't know what spirit want to give. I don't know what upliftment they want to give. So that's why I do it. You know, somebody could be helped through me, but yeah, very, very much so. You know, if you're willing to be disciplined, dedicated, and committed, the sky's the limit. I always like the triceratops, is it? You know, the thing with the big finger and the horns. Yeah. Triceratops. My wife just corrected me. Always like them. I was always drawn to them when I saw pictures of them when I was a kid. But we dinosaurs are still rolling along, so there must be something said for it. You know. Also, if I see any younger mediums around that I think are lovely and brilliant and walking the path, I will recommend them to other places. That's what mediums done for me years ago. I don't know. It's probably the human race because we were around in one form or another. Or did we evolve after? Yeah, Claire's right, Lynn. You should just keep going. Because there's lessons in the crap times. You know that. Yeah, I agree, Patrick. Is Chelsea still around? 'Cause I want to book her to do a live for me, with me. She's probably gone now. But yeah. Um, Chels, if you're around, I'd like you to do a live with me. I'm going to be booking mediums to do lives with me. Okay. 100% Dinky Dawn. We're all here to help each other. Yeah, I've finished my coffee. No, I haven't. I've still got a bit left, but yeah. You go and have a nice cuppa. I just think it's good for us all to get together and have a little chat and all the rest of it, you know what I mean? But I think I shall have to go soon. I've got to do my cyber farm and I've got to prepare for tonight's service. But we always seem to be sort of talking about, about the rotten eggs and how churches treat us and all the rest of it. And the way some people were, doing it for fame and money. I can remember a medium years ago, Derek Markwell, he was sort of like, yeah, he's a brilliant medium. Um, oh God, I've forgotten it. Mike knows him. Um, but yeah, he was sort of like my hero back in the day. Oh, hello, Chris. You all right? Just about to round this up, but yeah, we all seem to be talking about the rotten eggs and all the rest of it, and how people are getting it wrong. But we should just focus on what we're doing and how we can be the clearest and truest channel for spirit we can. Yeah, I'll be in touch with you, Dinky, soon, Dawn. All right. It may be even Tuesday night, because I've got Tuesday off, because I've got my diabetic eye test Tuesday. Yeah, I experienced that once years ago, Claire. It's wrong. Good morning, Karen. We've got to realise as spirit, as mediums, we are like free spirits, you know what I mean? I remember years ago at school, learning about John Wesley, the Methodist minister, and what he would do would go around giving teachings from the Bible, and he'd go from town to town doing that, and they used to put him up for the night and feed him, and that's what he did. And but he was giving teachings from the Bible. Have a good one, Patrick. I'll speak to you soon. Um, what was I going to say? Yeah, like I say, John Wesley years ago, he was a Methodist minister. He went around giving teachings of the Bible. We'd go from town to town, and they would put him up for a night and feed him. And that's how very much I see platform mediumship somehow. All right, you don't get put up for a night, and you rarely get fed, but you know, it's that dedication to spreading the word and spreading the teaching, and you know, bringing that light and upliftment into lives. That, you know, but that's just me. I don't know if anybody will agree with that. Okie dokie, right. Anyway, I'll let you all get on with your Sundays. It's been a lovely chat this morning, and I wish you all the blessings Sunday can bring. And if you're serving tonight, have a good one, alright? You lot take care, and thank you for joining me this morning. God bless you all. Thank you.